Back to the religious talk. Welcome back to part 54 of the religious talk. Now I'm going to get down to the basis. Why we have to exercise faith. Now let's talk about why we have to exercise faith. Okay, guys? Now, let me turn down the volume down. Okay? So I can hear you guys now. Loud and clear. So now, we're going to talk about why we have to exercise faith. Now, you look at the world today and you might say, what have we got ourselves into, or what happened to this world and why this world's the way it is? You might not know, but there's an answer why the world is the way it is, okay? Peoples are serving Satan. They don't want to do what God Jehovah tells them to do in this book. Okay? In this book. Okay? And this book is the New World Translation of the Holy Scripture. Now that book has every truth, every history of what God said upon those times of those peoples who stay faithful to Jehovah. Today in this world, what we're seeing is evil, and we're seeing peoples who are demonizing peoples who want to keep their faith in God, Jehovah. Now, therefore, we cannot go wrong with that reason. But there's other reasons why. In the Garden of Eden, there was two human beings that were supposed to multiply the world like God, Jehovah said. And that was Adam and Eve. Adam and Eve ate from the forbidden tree. And after that, they spare around their sin to their children. So we are Adam and Eve's children. And we are sinners because of Adam and Eve, what they did in that time. Now Jesus Christ came down from heaven to save us. And he gave away his only life so we can live forever. He died on the stack. So therefore, we have to exercise our faith. Now the first step of exercising our faith, is getting rid of friends that don't support us of serving God Jehovah. And those are the demons who say that they are Christians and say they do what God tells them. But who is God to them? That's my question. God is Satan to them. To us, God is Jehovah, the only mighty God we worship. The second step, stop listening to people who misled us into this. And those are the demons who want to tell us, oh, you don't have to do this. God still loves you. You don't have to do this for him. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to do nothing for him. You can just do you and doing good and just do you and you know for right and wrong and whatever going on. No, it's not like that. Okay? You can't listen to those people because they don't worship God Jehovah. And the third step is getting rid of the things of the past. Now, what's the problem with people today? Many people want to keep their stuff in the past. They don't want to talk about the future. They want to stay in the past because they think that the past will help them move on to the future. It will not. You got to move on sometimes. There are some scriptures, peoples, in my Bible. I'm going to read you peoples, okay? And this is the most powerful scriptures you guys can ever read in anytime you're feeling down or lonely, okay? And I took these scriptures to heart, and I highlighted these. I'm going to start with the one about when he told them not to eat from the tree, okay, of knowledge. And I'm going to read this one. It said, you must not eat from, okay, you must not eat from every tree of the garden. At this The woman said to the snake, we may eat of the fruit but of the tree of the garden, but God has said about the fruit of the tree that is in, that is in the middle of the garden. You must not eat from it. No, you must not touch it. Otherwise, you will die. At this, the snake said to the woman, you surely will not die, for God knows that in the very days you eat from it, your eyes will be open, and you will be like God, not knowing good and bad. Constantly, constantly. The woman saw the tree was good for food, and that is was something describable to the eyes. You, the tree will pass to look so. She began of its fruit and eating it afterward. She also gave some to her husband when he was with her, and he began eating it. Then the eyes, people, um, of both of them were open, and they realized that they were naked. So they swapped fig leaves together and made a a long covering themselves. Later, they heard the voice of Jehovah as he walking in the garden about the breeze part of the day, and the man and his wife hid from the face of Jehovah God among the trees of the garden. And Jehovah God kept calling to the man and saying to him, where are you? Finally he said, I heard your voice in the garden, but I was afraid because I was naked, so I hid myself. At that he said, who told you that you were naked? Have you ate from the tree from which I command you not to eat? The man said, the woman whom you gave to me with me, she gave me fruit from the tree, so I ate. Jehovah God then said to the woman, what is this you have done? The woman replied, the snake devoured me, so I ate. Then Jehovah God said to the snake, because you have done this, you are you are the cursed one out of all the dominant nation and smell animals, and out of all the wild animals of the field. On your belly you will go, and you will eat dust all the days of your life. And I will put enmity between you and the woman, and between your offspring and her offspring. He will crush your head, and you will strike him in the heel. To the woman he said, I will gracefully increase the pain of your pregnancy. In pain you will give birth to children, and your loin will be for your husband, and he will donate you. He will dominate you. And to Adam he said, because you listened to your wife's voice and ate from the tree casually which I gave you this commandment, you must not eat from its curse is the ground on your account. In pain you will eat the produce of all the days of your life. It will grow thorns and tassels from for you, and you must eat the vegetation of the garden of the field in sweets in the sweat of your face. You will eat bread until you return the ground, for out of it you will take for dust you are, and to dust you will return. And after this, Adam named his wife Eve, because she was to become the mother of everything living. And Jehovah God made long generation from the skin for Adam and for his wife to clothe them. Jehovah God then said, here the man has became like one of us in know. And then it says, it says, knowing good and bad is now in order, that may have not put his hand out and take fruit from also from the tree of life and ate, live forever. And then says, after that claim said to his brother Abel, let us go over into the field. So while they were in the field, Cain assassinated his brother Abel and killed him. So what I read, peoples, that is a whole entire story about what they did, what Adam and Eve did. So for us, that's an example lesson learned that we should not listen to Satan. Whatever he tells us to do, we should ignore it and listen to Jehovah. Because if we listen to Satan, we can end up like Adam and Eve in this story of what happened to them, what God told them about, and when God sent them out of the garden of Eden because of they ate from the forbidden tree that God told them not to eat from, and they ate from it anyway, and they got cursed. God sent them out. God told Eve that He would make the pain, okay, more harder for her, and put and added to her pregnancy. And so, therefore, peoples, whatever Satan tells you to do, don't do it because it's wrong. If you know it's right by your heart and you know it's right by what you heard in the story, don't do what Satan tells you to do. Even because people say it's good or something they want you to see is really nice, don't do it. Because Satan will mislead you like he did Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden. And that's a story lesson learned. So please learn this because you need to. Because this system of things is coming to an end. We all should see what's upon us and what's ahead of us. We should not always listen to Satan because there's never nothing good with Satan. All he says is lies. And that was a lie that misled somebody who had a perfect life ahead of them. And they listened to Satan. And then what happened? They got kicked out of the Garden of Eden and they can't come back. And so therefore they aged and got old and they died. And so therefore we was born with it. So now we have to do with him. Well, I hope you learned this. Okay, bye.